A local Vancouver actor from Montreal originally, and my co-writer Kamal John Iskandar is also here. He's an Egyptian writer. He's arriving at the moment, and we have a surprise for you. So please stay for the Q&A. Is irresistible. And I want to acknowledge the land we are standing on. It's very important for the festival and for us as well. This film is an inspiration from my hometown, Montreal, based on a journey that I went through about 15 years ago, navigating the subcultures in the city. And it's the first feature film in history ever made with the G-Energy method. I trained cast and crew to learn how to utilize their higher self and their consciousness to tell the story to
Actors are super good looking. I hope the main character is super good looking.
Hi everyone, thank you for staying for this Q&A. We have the pleasure and the privilege to have 35 minutes with the director of Montreal Girls that you just saw, Patricia Chica.
Yes, hello.
We're also here. Can I say like a few words about you? You have like a lengthy. Oh. You have a lengthy.
Just say hello to them.
Ouais, pardon. Regarde.
Hey, can you hear me, guys? Yeah, woo!
Without any prior acting training.
So I work with energy. And I knew when I cast Hakim, not being a trained actor, that I had to design a rigorous training for him to be able to have all the tools so he could play this very complex character, especially that filmed the whole process for a year. And if you want to see the documentary, I'm very happy to send you the link with the password and just reach out on Instagram or Facebook to ask for it. So anyway, it was a journey. I wanted to experiment with it, and since it's my debut feature, I had that freedom to do it that way, and it was phenomenal how the results, even using energy for the color palette, for the production design, the cinematography, even the composer used the vibrations, the frequencies, the resonance of each energy center to tap into the emotional journey of the character, and how all of this became a cohesive process for everyone. It was a very harmonious set because we shot during COVID, and the actors couldn't be together for more than 15 minutes per day. That's before the vaccine. It was like the early moments of COVID. So I knew that by using energy, it allowed the actors to connect at a very intimate level despite the physical distance, especially for a very intimate.
I wrote in that guy's voice and very much kind of channeled his personality into it, and
we had to remember our past together just by kind of like staring at each other for like 5 minutes and different things like that. So we got to build something before we actually shot the scenes, But I don't know, we connected, I guess. You know, yeah.
Also, Jade is a very talented actor for sure, so I feel like you might have helped me be creative a little more and just, you know, you get to do some improvising as if, you know, we'd known each other for a long time. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, it's a little similar to when I start drawing, right? There's no judging or no self, or no feeling of self, you know, you don't have a view anymore. It's like just getting to the character and you know that your cousin is there and it's been a long time you haven't seen him. It's a sort of conditioning that gets you to acting. Very interesting.
And Hakim, I'm just curious, and I'm gonna.
Good to hear him, huh?
Yeah, we want to see him or show the. Oh,
Nothing like a good cat video.
That's better than me. I'm sorry. What was your question again? I was just.
It's, I guess, twofold. So you're a first-time actor. How was it to go into this very deeply emotional role? And also, what does it mean for you? Because we're the MENA Film Festival, to be a Swana actor and represent that our region.
Certainly, it is a lot different from the ordinary films you'd see about Arab people, and I find it actually. Very contributing to deconstructing that condensed vision we tend to have about the Oriental or Middle Eastern culture, as much as it could be a very motivational story to set up the point and the layout for young people from my generation, from my background, like from the same background culture to go for choices they really want to do in life. I mean, especially in terms of career, right? It's being said very often that, you know, our parents are usually the ones who pick up our career choices and, you know, other kinds of path we usually want to take on our own, but it's like I'm just trying to get the words for it, and it's I mean, overall the film contributes a lot to deconstructing again that stereotype, and that's what I really like about it, for real. So you know.
Can I turn it to the
what was going to happen, and I really liked that and I enjoyed it, and you brought out both the fun, the excitement, but also the melancholy and the estrangement and the sadness and the laughter. So I want to thank you for that. It means a lot. It is about the plot because there's always challenge to represent life with all its turns. So I'm wondering about the outcome of the relationship between the son and the father. And how did you decide? Because I felt in some respect the character wasn't perhaps as central for whatever reason, although it probably was central in the interior life and the life of Omar. So the ending was a bit of a happy ending with the father, particularly with the question of love. It was open-ended. So what made you decide that the father kind of relents and sends back the poet, as opposed to either unresolved or alienation? Thank you.
I think we are, used to seeing that signpost, what this is, where this story is going, and everything else. Because what we were trying to do, I think, was tell, a story that traverses the interior landscapes of what it feels like to go through this experience, And I think there's something intrinsically, in this character's journey that communicates something that isn't traditionally a, good guy, bad guy kind of narrative, but sort of a struggle, to find oneself. And in a sense, it's a cliche because we've seen the story, you know, probably a million times. It's a very, you know.
It's universal. I come from a very conservative, very strict and religious background as a Latin American woman. My family was, my father was a very homophobic dad and against the arts and everything. So I put a lot of myself in the character of Rami. And that's why I have become an advocate for LGBTQ rights, because I saw I was able to think on my own after a while and realize that what parents think is the sin and the evil and all of that is not women in the context of how I wanted to
Oh my god.